Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my Sephora VIB sale recommendations list. So I'm going to tell you guys the best of the best, the stuff that I can't stop using, top drawer that's wowing me that I think you should check out and obviously get your percentage off, whether it be 10, 15, or 20. I will leave all the information down below if you're not familiar with kind of the dates and like VIB, Rouge, Beauty Insider, who gets what percentage off. So everything will be down below. But today I'm going to go over products that are wowing me, that I've gone through multiples, that I'm going to repurchase, that have really been changing my makeup game. I'm not one to go through and recommend, like 5 foundations, 5 concealers, 5 this and that. There's a lot of products that are good, but I think a lot of it's personal preference. These are the products that are wow, off the charts. Some of them I did mention a couple months ago when they did their surprise sale, but I'm going to try to do most of these that are newer to me. So the list isn't going to be super long. I will link my video down below of the surprise sale recommendations because I'm still loving a lot of those products. So I will have that video linked as well as all the products underneath the products I talk about today. So hopefully that makes sense because I don't want to be repetitive and just say the same things over and over, even though I'm still loving all of those products. I am partnering with RAKUTEN to remind you guys to use RAKUTEN when you're shopping this VIB sale because you're going to get extra cash back for shopping that you were already going to do. So if you're unfamiliar, RAKUTEN is formerly known as Ebates. They changed the name, but all the deals, the website, everything else is exactly the same. If you're not familiar with RAKUTEN at all, they are the largest cashback website that partners with over 2,000 retailers that you know and love. I use it for Sephora, Ulta, Forever 21, tons of different companies, and you get cash back and coupons for shopping that you were already going to do. So once you sign up, you just go to rakuten.com or you can use their app, type in the store you're shopping, click shop now. It could be 4%, 8%, 12% cash back, and then you just shop as you normally would. It will track the cash back that you get and you'll get a payment by PayPal or check every 3 months. You'll also get a $10 welcome bonus if you sign up with the link in my description box and make your first $25 or more purchase. So this is the perfect time. Don't forget to sign up and use this. Maximize your savings while you're shopping the VIB sale. So I'll have all the links down below and let's get into what I recommend. So as I said before, I'm going to try to not be super repetitive. Some of these products I mentioned a couple months ago, but a lot I haven't. I'm really only talking about the ones that are really standing out to me that I haven't given enough love to. This one is so good and I hear no one talking about it. I've had this for so long. This is from Sun & Park. It's the Beauty Filter Glow Cream. I've heard nobody talk about this, but you guys, I have done damage. I mean, I am almost out of this. I've had this for a long time. Every time I use this product, my makeup looks good. It has a kind of light pink tint to it. When you look at it on your finger, it's just kind of like a, I don't know, like a cream gel, but when you apply it, there's a little bit of a luminosity to it. It's not like pink, glitter or anything. It just gives you a nice glow for under your makeup. I absolutely love this. It just never fails me. Anytime that I'm like, you know what, I just want my base to look good, you can see like I've definitely dug in there, but it's lasted me so long. This is a K-Beauty brand. I think they only have a couple products, but this is something that I've loved. Look at all the damage I've done. So I wanted to mention it because I've been using it a ton recently. I've mentioned it before, but I really wanted to showcase it as a moisturizer. You could use it as a primer, but I like to do like a targeted pore primer as well. But this is really kind of like an under makeup base for me. I also wanted to highlight this product because when I first tried it, I really liked it, but I didn't know if it was worth the price. And the more that I have it on hand and use it, I really do enjoy it. You can see I've done some damage in here as well. I would say I'm about a third of the way through, and this is the Tachi Dewy Skin Cream. Now, of course, if you can't afford this or you don't feel comfortable paying the money for Tachi, ask me down below and I can give you some other recommendations. But I have to say, this really is a nice, slick, dewy cream, as it says. It just looks beautiful under makeup, and I found that it really hydrates, and you can kind of layer it. It's very dewy, and like I said, almost slick. Like, it just feels so nice and soft on the skin, but it's not thick. It's not gonna do any caking under your makeup. So I really enjoy this. I know the price tag is heavy, so again, if you want other recommendations, ask me down below and I can give you some other options. But I feel like I haven't given this enough love. I know people go insane over Tachi. I'm kind of in between, but when I was looking through my top drawer, this stays in my top drawer all the time. and I've done damage, and I find myself just using it all the time, even if I don't use it on camera. So I do think it's a beautiful product if you want to like kind of treat yourself. So I have 3 primers to talk about. I really feel like I'm into, you know, base lately. This one is a repeat, but I just had to talk about it. This is the Nars Radiance Primer. And again, purchased this myself a while ago. Jamie Genevieve recommended it, and she just has the most beautiful skin. This is great. I love this product. It is similar to that Sun and Park, but this is more glowy. Definitely has that pink kind of iridescence. You know what this is like? A MAC strobe cream. It's like a thinner MAC strobe cream if you like that effect, but look at the dew that you get. It sits beautifully under makeup. It has like a gel finish. Again, it's not smoothing, it's a radiant primer. I found that this makes my skin look better if I'm not wearing makeup too. It just gives me like, I don't know, a healthy glow. So I know I talked about it again, but I'm going to talk about it again. You know what? That didn't even make sense. What the hell did I just say? I don't even know. You know what? When I think about like, whenever I'm like, I'm going to mention it again, every single time I think about Bethany throwing her legs in the air and she's like, mention it all. That's literally what I think about every time I say that, because I'm like a Housewives fan. Anyways, that was a sidetrack. I'm getting off on a tangent, but I highly recommend this. I don't use it a lot on camera because I'm always using new, but a lot of the time I'm wearing it like today. I just enjoy it, and I feel like it sits beautifully under makeup, especially if you love a matte foundation, but you want something to give you extra kind of glow. This is it. I really love it. Now, if you're looking for oil control, I highly recommend the Smashbox Photo Finish Oil and Shine Control. This is great. It is a kind of gel-like consistency. Actually, it is a gel. Just comes out like a little gel, and it's not super like suction down drying, but it just kind of takes the edge off of the oil. So if you're combo and you feel like you get greasy in your T-zone, a little bit of this and you're golden. So I really like this. I find that it has a little bit of smoothing to it too. Like I said, it just kind of like perfects the skin. Now, if you have really targeted pore issues, you might want to go in with something else on top. But I feel like this is a multitasker, and honestly, I'm really impressed. Again, this has been top drawer since I've gotten it. So the last primer is the best pore primer I've ever tried. This is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. I thought this was only at Ulta in their website, but it is on Sephora. As you can see, I have dug into this baby, and I'm wearing it today. I wear it pretty much every time I do my makeup now, and I just put it in my targeted areas right here or where I would crease. Highly recommend. Not much to say about it other than it really does kind of fill in your pores. Nothing's going to get rid of your pores, but it helps take the edge off again. It's just an old favorite that I've kind of repurchased, and then now that I'm using it every day, I feel like it really does just make a difference in how smooth my texture looks. So in terms of foundation, I have a few that I've been enjoying, but I just don't want to recommend a bunch because I feel like foundation is so unique to every person. So if you're on the fence, definitely grab a sample if you can of anything before you rush out and buy a foundation, because again, it could be beautiful on my skin and look bad on you, or something that you love looks horrific on me, and that's just the nature of it. There's no way for me to kind of tell you that yes, this is going to work for you, but I can tell you what works for me. So I really like the ABH Luminous Foundation. Here's the thing. I think this is probably the best luminous foundation that I've tried, because usually they have no coverage, they slip and slide, they feel really greasy on the skin. And this one doesn't. It sets down, I can powder it, and it wears pretty well on me. Of course, it's not going to wear as long as the double wear or something like that, but this has pretty good staying power, and I find that if it's a little bit too dewy, use a mattifying primer or cut it with a matte foundation. So just kind of do half and half. So I think it's a versatile product. I'm surprised how much I love it, because in theory, I think dewy foundations are beautiful or luminous, but they never last on me, or they kind of accentuate my texture. This does neither. So this would be the one that I would tell you to check out, that I think, unless you're extremely oily, I think most people could get on with this. So in terms of concealer, I didn't have one that kind of stood out to me that I thought would be universal, because I think it's all quite personal again. So I kind of switched between a bunch, but I did have this product that really did stand out to me, and I thought a lot of people could get a lot of use out of this. My Pomeranian is literally having to track me around my desk right now, and my neighbor's weed whacking, so it's just fun times here in the Stipes household, if you know what I mean. So let's just move on, but every time, she's gonna walk right back in here. She literally just walked back, and then she's walking back, and it's literally about the 14th thing, so we're just gonna have to go on. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Under Eye Corrector. I have the shade Fair. And when you first put your finger in this, it's a little bit more dry than I would have thought, but it does kind of get creamy upon touching your finger. This is great for kind of concealing redness, blemishes. The track meet that's going on right now, I can't focus, so hold please. So as I was saying, they have different colors, like they have an orange and a red, and then these light peachy tones to color correct. So I use this before my concealer to kind of take the edge off of the kind of blue veining I have. You can also use this kind of all over to like cover redness. I've used it on days when I really just don't want to put a lot of effort in. So I just apply this kind of to my T-zone around where my redness is, like around my nose, my chin, under my eyes, and then I just use powder on the rest or like a BB cream, and it really just kind of takes the edge off. So I think it's a small little product that comes in handy, and you just kind of pat it in and instantly it covers up discoloration. So I wanted to mention this because I think it's a really universal product that a lot of people would get a lot of use out of. So I have one powder to talk about, and I originally used this in a trying new makeup, and I didn't love it because the shade was wrong for me. This is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder. So I have the shade now Y315. So in terms of powder, I love my Charlotte Tilbury powder. It's just one of my favorites. I've mentioned it a million times, so I'll link it down below. But one of my newer favorites that I really didn't like upon first impression, but it was because the shade was wrong. This is the Matte Velvet Skin Blurring Powder Foundation from Makeup Forever. So I don't use it just alone, which a lot of people like it as. I actually prefer my Fit Cover. I just think it breaks up and it looks a little bit cakey by itself, but I use it to set. So I don't use a sponge that comes with it, but I use it sometimes if I feel like my foundation color is off or I feel like I'm not getting enough coverage, and I really use it kind of in the T-zone or anywhere I have redness or kind of unevenness. It does have coverage. I would say this is comparable to like a MAC Studio Fix powder, but I like it. I think it's a nice versatile product. You can use it alone, but I find that I have better coverage with my Fit Cover, but I have used a lot of it. It's top drawer. There's actually pretty big dent in here, so I'm probably gonna hit pan soon, and I just use it almost as a finishing too. If I feel like I've gone too hard with my blush, which I do pretty much every day, I can kind of sweep over it with a powder brush. It just takes the edge off and blends everything together. So it is something I use a lot. I don't use it on camera a lot, but it's always top drawer for me, so I wanted to talk about it. So I only have one bronzer to tell you guys about that I've been reaching for over and over and over again, and that's the Jouer Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder in Dark. I've just used this so much. I like the shade of it. It's like a cool and warm tone mix. It's not red, it's not orange, or it's not gray. It's just like the perfect warming of the skin color. I have it on right now. It has a satin finish, so just keep that in mind. If you don't like that, you might not want to go for this. But it's just buildable. It's just a beautiful bronzer. I use it all the time, even though it's supposed to be like a setting powder. I actually just use it to bronze, and I'm really happy with it. So it's top drawer. I can't stop using it. Moving on to blushes, I had to give a shout out to this Ambient Lighting Blush Quad Ghost Edition from Hourglass. This is one of their holiday palettes, and I just really think this is stunning. I love these two shades the most. There's like a pinky and then a really burnt color. They build up beautifully on the face. I think that the pan sizes are just enough to give you, enough bang for your buck. Of course, Hourglass is kind of a luxury brand. These do have a little bit of a satin finish to them, so again, a little bit of a shimmer, but I have been using them a ton. Every time I apply, especially that pink shade, it's just so pretty. I just love it on the face or on the skin. So I recommend this. They also have a 6-pan Ghost palette. I haven't tried yet, but a lot of people love that. So I would say choose one or the other if you're gonna go that route. I wouldn't get both, but I highly recommend this. I think it's beautiful. Just keep in mind there is a little bit of a sheen, so if you don't like any sheen at all, you might want to look for like a matte blush, but I think this is beautiful and it just like warms up the cheeks so nicely. Another blush formula I tried a while back and I really enjoy it is from Bareminerals. This is the Bounce and Blur. I have to say Bareminerals and Buxom do really beautiful blushes. So this is the shade Pink Sky. I have a little mini of the kind of like magenta one. It's like a deeper kind of berry magenta, but this is beautiful. It has a little bit of a sheen and it feels almost like a Super Shock, but it's so beautiful and like baby doll on the cheeks. I love this formula. It's not quite as creamy as a ColourPop. Like if you press in, it's not gonna dent as easily, but it's not powdery. It just kind of like melts into your skin and looks so beautiful. So I definitely kind of want to check out a couple more shades. I think they have 4 in total, but of course the pink speaks to me and I've just been loving this. Again, top drawer for me. And then the blushes I had to talk about again because I really want you guys to try these. I love these and no one has mentioned them but me. These are the Matte Duo blushes, or Matte Perfection Blush Duos. I have like, I think all the shades. I'm wearing this one right now, which is called Snapdragon. So there's 2 shades in here. These are completely matte. These remind me almost like of a MAC blush formula. So these are the 2 shades here. Don't be afraid of the purple. I swirl it and just apply it. It's so pretty. And then I also have Peach Blossom here. I have pretty much all the shades and I love them all, but this one's a little bit more kind of like wearable neutral. The only thing is the packaging like falls down. I'm not sure what that's about, but I love this. I think it's a good price. They're matte, they're pigmented, they blend beautifully. You don't have to work hard, and these all stay top drawer for me. So I wanted to just remind you guys, if you're looking for a beautiful matte blush formula, I highly recommend checking these out. They're some of my favorite blushes. So in terms of highlighters, I really have one that has been standing out to me, and this is in a set. This is the Balm Baby 2 mini lip and face set from Fenty Beauty. So it has a mini little highlighter and then a gloss in here. I really wanted to recommend this because the highlighter is beautiful. Her glosses are a great formula too, but the highlighter is so pretty. I'm wearing it right now. It's called Sandcastle, and it looks like a pinky, kind of like a dusty pinky shade, but it is intense. It is so blinding. I mean, look at that. You could use it as a shadow as well. I just have found that this is really, really pretty, like a really, really pretty kind of pinky, cool toned highlight. I think it's so beautiful. It's really buttery too. It just applies insanely intense. And with that, you do get a gloss in Sweet Mouth, which is like a pink kind of shimmer. Her glosses are beautiful. So I don't know if she's going to come out with this highlighter in like a large individual, but I think it's a cool set nonetheless, and I recommend this. Just really the highlighter just stands out to me. So I have 2 eyeshadow palettes I wanted to talk about. There's a lot that I think are great, but I haven't tried them enough. These 2 I've tried multiple times and I keep reaching for them. The first being What's on My Eyes, which is Celestial Storm by Dominique Cosmetics. I think this palette is absolutely freaking beautiful. I have to say that these shimmers are almost like toppers, so just keep that in mind, in the sense that they really work best with your finger and just kind of patting them on and swiping. It's so just glittery and beautiful. I feel like my lids almost look wet. I mean, they're just like beautiful galaxy colors. So just keep that in mind. I've seen some reviews of people saying that the shimmers, you know, were not like metallic enough, but I think you really have to work them in, and then they just kind of transform into these beautiful iridescent colors. The mattes are incredible. These 3 shades are me in a nutshell. I love, you guys know I love like an orange, pinky, beautiful shade. I still have yet to play with this one. I really want to do a look with these 2, but I think the presentation on this is beautiful. Every time I wear it, I just feel like it looks so pretty. It's like just the beautiful color story. It's still wearable, but you can take it out, you know, into these really pretty kind of turquoise and purple shades. So I just love this palette. I think she did an amazing job. I think the packaging is beautiful, but the quality is great. My other palette recommendation, I was a little bit wary because I know it's expensive, and a lot of the times, you know, I can definitely give you dupes or similar things, but I have to say, if you want to splurge and you like the color story, the Natasha-Nonna Metropolis palette is one of my favorites that she's come out with. I just find this so easy to work with. The shades in here are so creamy. Like I said, they're almost like a cream formula, and a couple of you said there actually is a cream formula in here. It is just a beautiful, warm toned palette. I feel like it just blends itself. I mean, these shades right here, it's like, you know, the color of my shirt, these beautiful like yellow gold shades. There's a couple blues in here, but really I feel like this is a neutral lover's dream, because you can just use all of these beautiful mattes and satins to create just a beautiful warm toned look. So I think this is a stunning palette. I really do. I know it's expensive, but if you like to splurge, or if you were wondering if the quality is good, the quality is great on this. It's just easy to work with, and that's what I'm looking for. Pigmented, easy to work with. I feel like you could do everyday looks, but you can amp it up with these shades to really make it pop. So I just think it's beautiful, and I do recommend it if you've had your eye on it. It's a great quality palette. Moving on to lips, I have a lip liner that I can't stop using, and I really have fallen in love with it. This is the All Day Everyday Lip Liner from Melt Cosmetics in Headbang. I have it on right now and I've been using it a lot. The formula reminds me seriously of the Pat McGrath lip contours. I mean, it's almost identical. This is a matte lip liner and I find that it lasts pretty well. It's not as long wearing as the Charlotte Tilbury, but it's a little bit more creamy. I just found that I can get a really precise kind of outline of my lips and I love this shade. I actually have another deeper shade in my cart to buy during the sale, but I had to talk about this because it's like my go-to lately. I just feel like it just applies easily. It's a perfect kind of brownie nude shade. They have a bunch of shades, but it's just a beautiful nude lip liner and I like the way it wears, applies, it's creamy, so it's become a favorite of mine. So in terms of bullet lipsticks, I have two that I want to talk about. The first is really any of the shades, the newer shades from the Huda Beauty. These are her matte lipsticks. I think they're called like the Power Matte. So I have Staycation and I think the other one's called Girls Trip, so a nude and a pink. She has a bunch of different shades though and they're all super beautiful. The first one she released I thought were a little bit gray toned, but I think these are much more wearable. The formula is super matte, super pigmented. It almost is like a cream to a powder without being dry. So I have found myself loving these, as well as this YSL, the Slim Matte Lipstick in 24. I've used this quite a bit, if you can see. Now this is a pink shade. They have a bunch of different shades, but this is just a beautiful like baby pink. And I've applied this, you know, over top any lipstick that's a little bit too dark or just with a brown lip liner. And I love the formula on this. It is pretty similar, I guess, to the Huda Beauty. It has that kind of powder dry down. So I love these. It's just the top ones that I'm reaching for that you can get at Sephora. I just find myself always using these when I don't know what else to use. So in the past, lip gloss wise, I've definitely recommended the Fenty Beauty glosses, which I love. I didn't want to be repetitive, but I always recommend those. But this is a new favorite of mine, and this is from Lawless. This is the shade Babe. It's like the beautiful, cool toned, milky pink shade. Now they have a bunch of shades and they sold out really quickly and then they restocked. So I bought this and I want to get a couple more. These are like the milky, creamy glosses. I would say it's not super sticky like a MAC, but it's definitely not, you know, like an oil. It definitely has some tack there or some thickness to keep it on, which I like. I like the pigment on these. It's just enough to make a difference. So I really enjoy these. These smell really nice too. And this is a clean beauty brand. So definitely check these out if you're looking for a nice kind of creamy gloss. So in terms of skincare, I have one product I want to talk about. This is the Fresh Soy Face Cleanser. I mentioned this in my favorites, but I really love it. I'm actually almost out of this small size. I did get this in PR and I am excited to purchase the full size. It really helps with congestion on my jawline, just little kind of whiteheads. It's not drying, it's not overly fragranced. It just feels like it gets everything off without leaving that tight feeling or a film. So I highly recommend this. I know this is like a cult favorite and I don't know what took me so long to try it, but I am in love with this. So if you're looking for just like a nice gentle face wash that does the job, check this one out. And then lastly, I have 3 hair care products I want to talk about. So I'm going to start out with Olaplex. I personally am going to pick up a couple more of these. This is the number 3 Repair and Strengthen Mask. So you use this before you shampoo your hair. You can put it on for 20 minutes, an hour, you know, a couple hours. You apply it dry or to dry hair and then you just kind of let it soak for a couple hours before you wash. I've gone through multiples of this. I swear by this to keep my hair healthy. I just feel like it helps so much with kind of bleached hair. Now they do have a set that I would recommend if you're new to Olaplex to get a bang for your buck, where you get a shampoo, conditioner, you get the smoother, which I recommend as well, but I already have, and then you get one of these, which is the hair mask. So you get all 4. It's such a good price, and then you get 20% off. It's amazing. So I'll link that as well as the number 3 separately. But if you're new to Olaplex, I would get the kit. I'm just not going to get the kit because I already do have this and the shampoo and conditioner. I really just need more of the masks. But really anything Olaplex I recommend, but specifically the number 3 is like the game changer for me. Another hair product I swear by is the IGK Antisocial Overnight Bond Building Dry Hair Mask. So this is empty. I've gone through one. I have another one downstairs. I bought one myself and then IGK sent me PR, but I've been through this entire can and I want to get another one. This is a dry hair mask. There might be a little bit left, yeah. Where you just spray on your hair before bed or really any time, comb through, and it just helps keep your hair healthy, just kind of helps prevent breakage, all of those things. It says apply to dry hair before bed, comb through, wake up and go. So it is a bond building complex for dry damaged hair that you don't want to restyle. I love this. At first I used it and I thought, oh, I don't think it's doing much, but after going through a can, my hair is thicker, my hair is growing faster. I just really enjoy this. I mean, obviously I've been through a can of it and I have another one that I'm about halfway through, so I recommend this if you don't want to do like wet mask. Like, I know you can sleep with coconut oil and stuff like that. It's a pain in the ass, I'm just gonna be honest, to like wrap your hair up and try to sleep with all of that. So this is like the lazy girl's guide to kind of doing a mask overnight. And then last up, I do recommend the Amika Bust Your Brass. This is the Cool Blonde shampoo. Mine is empty, so I'm gonna get another one. I love this. I feel like I like this because it's not as intense as Fanola or the Kristen S, and it lathers better. So I feel like I get more of that really icy white look rather than the purple streaks that kind of grab. I don't really mind either way, but this doesn't grab at all. So it just really kind of does an even brightening on my hair. It says, I don't know if it says how long to leave it on. I leave it on for a little bit longer than typical. So it doesn't say to leave it on. It just says apply, massage, rinse. I leave it on for 3 to 4 minutes to really get that icy look. You could leave it on longer, but it smells good. It's not as drying as other, you know, purple shampoos, although they all are drying. But I just really like this one because it lathers and it doesn't grab in certain areas. It just kind of all over tones my hair. So highly recommend. I'm gonna pick up another one. So those are all my new recommendations. I will leave my other recommendations linked as well if you were kind of curious from my 2 months ago kind of sale recommendations video, because I'm still using and loving a lot of the products, but these are the ones that really are standing out to me right now. So don't forget to check out RAKUTEN and get your cash back on top of the sale. I'm sorry about all the mowing and the weed whacking. My mind is going crazy because I've just tried to wait it out and they just won't stop. It's like they're mowing like 17 people's yards and I'm just like, okay, I gotta get this video done. So I hope it wasn't too distracting. So thank you guys again so much for watching. What are you picking up during the sale? I will have a haul coming next week, so look out for that because I have a huge cart like full of stuff that I want to try. So get ready for that video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.